You have no idea what this has done to my heart. My parents are still in shock, and so am I. Let me tell you what happened next. The moment I walked in, I knew it was going to change everything. The tension in the room was unbearable. Wait till you hear how they reacted. I never imagined it would unfold like this. My parents' faces frozen in disbelief. I can't stop thinking about that look. I feel like the ground beneath me is shaking. The words I said hit harder than I expected. You won't believe what happened after. There's something about their eyes that's haunting me right now. What I told my parents left me speechless. They're still trying to process it. I wasn't prepared for their reaction. The silence was deafening. Let me take you through what I was feeling in that moment. I thought I knew how they would react, but this was something else. I'm still processing everything that's happened. Their disbelief was written all over their faces. You can imagine how hard it was to even get the words out. What's going through my mind now? When I spoke, I didn't expect them to freeze, but they did. Now the silence feels heavier than ever. The weight of that moment is still sitting on my chest. What I told them will stay with me forever. My heart was racing, my hands trembling. I couldn't believe the words came out. But when they reacted, everything changed. What I saw in their eyes will stay with me for the rest of my life. The surprise was undeniable, but the shock, that was something else. It's hard to even put into words what happened next. They were speechless. The emotion in the room was thick and real. I thought they would understand, but I was wrong. Their reaction left me breathless and uncertain about everything. The silence between us was louder than any words. I'm still trying to figure out what their silence really means. I was shaking. I couldn't breathe. I had no idea they would react like that. Everything changed in an instant. I can feel my heart pounding just thinking about it. The moment I told them, I knew it was a turning point. They were looking at me like I was a stranger, but it was the look in their eyes that made everything feel like a dream. The tension in that room was unbearable. I've never seen them like this before. The silence between us was a truth all on its own. You could cut the air with a knife. Their faces, frozen in surprise. What they said next, it's something I'll never forget. I didn't know how to react when they were speechless. The truth hit harder than I expected. There's a quiet terror in their silence. The words I spoke left a mark that I'm not sure I can ever erase. What I said should have been easy, but instead, it was like I unleashed a storm, and now nothing feels the same. The disbelief in their eyes was haunting. Every second felt like an eternity as I waited for them to say something, anything. I'm still trying to make sense of their reaction. It was like they couldn't even process what I had said. The look on their faces still haunts me. My heart skipped a beat, and I haven't been able to shake the feeling since. It's like the world stopped spinning the moment I told them. The fear in their eyes was more than I could handle. I could feel the weight of the silence pressing on me. They were speechless, but inside, I was screaming. Everything went quiet after I spoke, the kind of silence that eats away at you. That's when I knew things would never be the same. I thought I was ready, but when the words left my lips, I realized I wasn't. My parents' reaction was more than I could handle. Their eyes were wide, their mouths agape. I wasn't expecting that kind of shock. But what happens next will leave you speechless. I'm not sure they even heard me. The silence in that moment spoke louder than any words I could say. I can't forget the way they looked at me, as if they were seeing me for the first time. This has changed everything. Every moment felt like an eternity as I waited for them to speak. But their silence, it spoke volumes. Their reaction left me frozen in place. I had no idea what to do, what to say next. It was all too much. The look on their faces was unforgettable. The shock in their eyes told me everything I needed to know. I thought the conversation would go one way, but it turned completely upside down. Their reaction was beyond what I could ever imagine. I wish I could take back the moment I spoke, but then again, I don't. Their reaction has left me questioning everything. I couldn't breathe in that moment. The silence felt like it would crush me, and the look in their eyes still lingers. What I said hit harder than I expected, but the silence, that's what I'll never forget. The shock on their faces was palpable. I'm still reeling from how it all played out.